We're going to run Heroku run bash. This should hopefully bring us back in here and get connected. Hopefully. There we go. And then what I was going to show is on the help, there is a list of commands that will run. And one of these is djstripe sync models. We ran this locally and it pulled all the test data. So we're going to be in live mode by default. We should be anyway. Just to confirm, we're at the settings page. Here is yeah, that's actually a good question. So there should be a live, there it is, Stripe live mode. So that's going to default to true. One of the questions that I need to check on or confirm is, did Stripe carry the prices over to our production site? Is it mirrored, or do I have to recreate that first? So let me do that. Make sure that we actually have a price to check, and then we'll pull it down, because I don't want to like pull down stuff and then need to run it again. So I'm going to go to secrets. I'm going to go back to the Stripe page, and we're not in test mode. Let's go to the product catalog, I think. Well, is Stripe confused? Or am I losing network? Now I'm not confident. Okay. So yeah, there's a difference between test mode and live mode. So that's an unfortunate reality. So what I'm going to do is have this page up twice. So I can kind of like copy between them, or there's got to be a way. Surely they have a method for saying copy to production, copy to live mode. Good. There's a, okay. Bring this back. I'm on the test mode now. Then this dropped down. Say copy to live mode. Okay, I think that's what I want. In case they ask me some weird stuff, I'm gonna put this back on for a second. Copy to live mode. Your product is now in live mode. So I'm gonna click over to live mode, see what's there. I wanna check on the details. It says it's a subscription plan. It's $5 a month. That's what I set. It's got a price object that's associated with it. And I think that's everything. So at this point, and it should have the same like lookup, what do they call it? A nickname. Nickname, that's what there was. Let me confirm that the nickname is still there on the price, because that's important. So I want to edit the price, and I'm looking for, they don't have it. There's a lookup key, and it's not there. So it didn't carry that over. I'm going to go check in test mode for things and confirm that that's where I'm supposed to add it, and then we'll bring it back over. So we have our price. Oh, this is test mode. I can share this. We have a price, and then what I did on the production side was I went to edit price, and lookup key is down here. This is what goes to nickname, and that was how our system would look up the right price. And so I don't want to pull that down and then get that wrong. So I'm going to copy this, and I don't know if the price identifiers are secret. I don't know. I'm always nervous with the money stuff. Sorry, y'all. So switch back to here, and now it's claiming it can't find the product. That's baloney. Product catalog, subscription plan, pricing, edit the price. It is recurring, it's flat rate, $5. All that stuff looks good, but it doesn't have the lookup key. I'm adding the monthly -v1 lookup key. Now we should have a lookup key on our price. And we do. Okay, Going back to the product catalog, I'm going to put it back in test mode so I can bring this back. Okay. So we've got something basically equivalent to this on the production side. And over here now, I should be able to run manage py and djstripe sync models. I'm going to let this run. Again, I'm going to hide it just because there might be identifiers there that I don't know what's being logged. And I'm just out of an abundance of caution, but you can see exactly the command I'm going to run. And if there's nothing sensitive about it after it seems to run, I will turn this back on so you can see the log output. So I'm going to hit enter. And first thing it did is it checked my live key. It's going down the list and syncing stuff of all different kinds. I'm looking specifically for evidence of price. That will be the important one to see. It's pulling a bunch of country specs right now. I don't know what those are for, but I've got those logs available. And it's continuing to go. It's got orders, sources, payment methods, the webhook. Right, I didn't see price, but that doesn't mean it didn't go. It just means okay, there it is. So it pulled down our price object for the live account. And the live stuff does show hints of the actual name, although it's too short. You couldn't do anything with it even if you saw the abbreviated version. But yeah, that should be harmless to show. Okay, so here's a sample of the output. We've now synced djstripe to this, to the database, and we have the webhook, and we have the webhook key. Maybe we can go confirm. We're going to do our end-to-end test, and that will confirm that the webhook is working. And we might need to switch off of live mode to do that, because it's now that we've pulled this, I'm going to do one more check on the admin. The admin page is still running up in the background. So I'm going back to Firefox. I'm switching to my admin. And I'm going to go look at the API keys that are available. And it's still saying only a secret key, so that doesn't seem right. There should be a public key as well. I don't know why I didn't pull a public key. That was important. So I guess I need to go get the public key and put that in manually. I'm not sure why I didn't sync that. That's weird. All right, so returning to Stripe, returning to the home page where I had the key. There's a publishable key. I'm going to copy it. I am going to go back to the admin and add a new API key. And I'm going to say production publishable, and paste in the value. Because these things were needed. These are both needed for that main view. What? I guess the key name got wiped when I did that pull. I had a key name before and it got changed. Okay, so we now have two keys, which I know the code is expecting, both the publishable key and the secret key. I cannot show them, but they are there. And I've returned to the dashboard. Trying to think of what's left. Bring this back. So this is the live key for publishable. Quidrak, thanks for the subscription. Thanks for joining. So we've got Stripe. We've done the deploy. It's in live mode. So if somebody signed up right now, they would go and like do a real sign up with a real credit card. That's the only way to test that. So what? Now what? We're at a stage where we're at the end-to-end test. So we want to do the test flow but we want to do it with fake data. And I think the only way to do that is by turning live mode off. So essentially, well, there's only a few of you on here. I'm going to ask that please don't sign up or I will delete your account in the next 20 minutes. Any account, let me say it this way. Any account created in the next 20 minutes, I'm deleting. So please don't bother. Because what I'm going to do is if you go to JourneyInbox and go to accounts sign up, I've got that turned off right now. But what I'm going to switch it to, I'm going to switch live mode off. We're going to put it in test mode, and we're going to test out the sign up process with test mode and be able to do this with a fake credit card, and it should create all the accounts. All the webhooks should be created. Our webhook is not paying attention to whether something is what am I trying to say? Whether something is created via live mode or test mode. So I'm going to do an end-to-end sign-up process. That means I'm going to have to verify, so with some email. So I got to, not only that, I got to create it with a dummy email account that goes to an email account that I can access quickly. I'm going to do that on my phone and all of that. So first things first, let's go to our settings. We're going to go back to Heroku. I'm going to change this. And what we want to do is we want to set Stripe live mode to false. That's the first step there. And that will do a deploy and essentially make it so that Stripe will be going against the test site. We should see evidence of that. If we go to the checkout page, I think it will tell us that we're in test mode because that's how these sessions will be created. But it'll be good to see that. So I'm going to turn this off for a second because I got to, turn that off. And I'm going to reveal this. And the thing I need to add is Stripe live mode. I'm going to set the value to it to false. And add that. And then hide the configuration variables. If I go back to the overview, this is not safe to show. It shows my email address right there, but it says that it's doing a deploy right now with this new Stripe live mode setting, and so that's what's going on there. I'll check. Well, this will only take a second or two. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to turn, as soon as that is done, I'm going to check this after I do the explanation here. As soon as the deploy is done and Stripe live mode is set to false, I'm running out of words too apparently, I'm going to go turn on the feature flag for sign up. And that feature flag sign up page should make it possible for me to reach the sign up page. I will do a login with I have a Gmail account, and I'll do a plus testing something. And we'll create an account. I'll have to verify, assuming it's all working, I'll get a verification link here. And I'll verify the account, and then I should be able to log in with that account. From that page, we should get the account activation button, and we should be able to go to Stripe Connect, get a session. There should be evidence that it's a testing page at that point. I'm hoping so. And then we'll complete the process. And with any luck, we'll activate the account and it will call the real webhook with the Stripe, the webhook secret that we set a while ago and do the activation. That's the full flow. And that will prove that everything's working. All right, so that's the full description. Let me check that we're good here. Yep, the Stripe live mode is set. I'm going to go back to my admin page. I'm going to go to the flags and I'm going to turn on this flag for everyone at the moment. So I'm just setting the flag on in the admin. We will return over here. And now if I'm on this page, I should refresh and we've got the sign up page. Again, please don't create an account right now. That would just be me deleting your account for the moment. You're welcome to sign up after I'm all done, and yeah, that more power to you if you want to do that. But just hold off for another 30 minutes or so. Okay, so let's go to oh, interesting. I've got a sentry error that hopefully will go away because it's the sentry. So now I'm reading sentry errors about the site from there, and it's the invalid Stripe API key. So we configured the webhook, but we didn't set the API key, and I think that's what was happening. It was it was on that call, but it didn't know how to talk to it. So that should hopefully have gone away once we set the live key. We'll find out. So let's create this process. Again, this is me having to show my real email address. So I'm going to type in an email address of my email address plus JourneyInbox testing. And then I give it a password here. I will call this one testing. Well, I don't, yeah, I'm gonna need that for a moment. And I'm gonna sign up. Oh no, I got a 500. All right, this is why we test. So that didn't work. And I've got sentry errors. All right, fun, fun, fun. We have got some work to do. I've got a sentry error. Sentry is going to probably tell me the email, so I got to be careful again here. I got to sign in. Oh my goodness, too many layers, y'all. So many layers. All right, I'm on school desk, so I need to switch to JourneyInbox. And the from address does not match a verified sender identity. Okay. So I guess. All right, there's some configuration that's wrong on that setting. So the from address needs to match an identity, which So I have a value in my secrets, but what's it using? What did it use? Does it say? I'm looking at the details here. Yeah, I gotta be careful because it shows my email here too. I was hoping it would tell me what email was rejected, like the from email that was trying to go. Because it's telling me telling me the failure, but it's not telling me the error, the data that I sent for that failure. Call the send API. What? Okay, show my name. Yeah, I think that's it. So here's our entire AnyMail configuration. So if AnyMail is using this, then maybe the from stuff, what would that have been? All right, let's get off of here so I stop spending money on a running Heroku instance. That's silly. And let's try to create an account locally. I'm going to, I think I'm done with the admin. So I'm gonna turn this on, and because I'm gonna be switching to another admin, and I don't want to show my real admin. So I'm gonna close my real admin for a moment, and then we will turn back to this. But so now I'm not gonna accidentally. I was already gonna accidentally show something I didn't, a bad tab thing that I didn't want to. So let's run this. What? Oh, I need a source virtual environment. All right, we're on 5001. So we want to do a sign up here. Accounts, sign up. We might already be logged in. We are. So we need accounts, log out. All right, log out. And now we want to do a sign up. The reason I'm doing this is the flow should tell me on this local host, like what was the address of the from field that we're missing here. So there's something I didn't wire up properly. And of course, there's my email address. Unavoidable. I'm trying my best. So at somewhere.com, and this should be something, it doesn't really matter. Some message that didn't go. What happened there? Why did that not work? Okay. Problem is we don't have flash messages turned on, so we're not seeing failures right now. So that's probably what's happening. Let's use a suggested password. Why not? And try the sign up process. Okay, so we've got confirmation email sent. Here's what I wanted to see. Okay, so I suspect that this is why it's failing. It's set to webmaster at localhost. It's probably a default from Django that we did not set that AnyMail is taking advantage of, and we need to set to like a no reply at our real domain. That's almost certainly what's missing. So Django webmaster at localhost, that's pretty common apparently. Password reset form using webmaster at localhost. Blah blah blah. Server email. Found out there's another setting called default from email. Wonder if I did this on, this is probably something I configured on Homeschool. Settings from email, default from email. Yep, and server email. All right, well, that explains why I didn't have this working. And I guess technically I could put it with the email section. Well, I did have them. Oh, you know what it was? I verify. Aha. Okay. I guess we haven't tried sign up since I changed the domain. So my domain on these, can't really show one because it's my own personal journal, but these come from email.journeyinbox.com rather than just journeyinbox.com. Although I'm not sure, I'm really confused as why. Oh, because we're using the console. Well, why did that? No matter. I'm not going to think too hard about it. I'm confused about why it said webmaster at localhost here when I've set these values. Okay. All right. Let's try this. Set the server and default from email for the sign up flow. Push that up. Do a deploy. That's running. Getting there. What? The secret of webhook endpoint. Huh? We definitely set a webhook secret. Or we should have. This can happen if it was deleted and resynced, as Stripe needs the webhook secret only on the creation call. Oh, bummer. So we got to populate that in the database? That's pretty lame. Let's see. So that's a good sign that it's not going to work. We got to fix that. But one thing at a time. We got to do because we're trying to get to the activation screen. It's really what we're trying to get to. But we didn't even get that far. So I'm going to return. Well, this is now the wrong place. All right. Take 2. I'm just going to call it 2. We'll use a password. We'll do testing 2. And we'll try sign up. Oh, come on. Ah. That's annoying. I'm sure it's the same issue. 2 of them. There's a bunch of these now. That's not cool. Okay. We could do this locally, I think, by setting the real email handler. I think I've got this set up locally. But I'm bothered that, like, it seemed, I thought we would have for sure done that correctly. And there's not enough data here. That's bothering me. Show more? Yeah. Okay. Well, Hmm. Where do I want to... How do I validate what it sent? All right, that's where I started getting into the data here. Sorry. Let's see if I'm going to... Well, it's an info message. It's got my form data, but it doesn't tell me... There's not like a stack, or there's not the context of the stack at the time when it sends the call, or at the right level. Maybe there is. There's a big stack trace here, but let me start to click. Well, there are parameters. Okay. All right, maybe we can find this. It did it again. Webmaster at localhost. Okay, that's... I can't show the data, but it sent a bunch of information there that's webmaster at localhost. Why would it do that? I definitely have it coded to be... Did I spell it wrong? Default from field. I did. Son of a gun. All right. Well, that would do it. Here it is, folks. Default from field, that's not correct. It's default from email. I typed it wrong. How annoying. I think we were still going to have a problem anyway, because the email dot was not in there, and this is the verified domain. With any luck, we can get this going pretty quickly here. So let's say use the right setting name. And then I will deploy that. That's going. All right. So let's try it again. We want to go back to this sign up thing. Bring a bunch of junk over here too. 3. Testing 3. Hopefully it'll work this time. All right. No 500. Let me go over here to my email account. And I've got a no reply JourneyInbox. So I really should set that to something friendlier, but it works for now. And I'm going to follow Follow this activation link. Can I do this from my phone? Do I have to log in from here? I activated it, so maybe that's enough. And then click in, sign in. So we want this third one. No. Too hard to see. All right, too hard to see. Sorry. Let me do my 1Password stuff here. Okay. Now what? We got a different 500 error. CSRF error. Wow. Just a comedy of errors here, folks. But it might be like not pulling the right pricing. Like I don't know that we pulled price data for the test. That could be it. We didn't pull the price data in test mode, I bet. I bet that's what, I'm going to guess that's what the error is on the other side. Let's see what we're seeing now. API key does not exist. Yeah, so we put this on test mode. So it doesn't have a test key version of this. It's because we turned it off live mode. Yeah, no kidding, John. This is definitely why we test. All right, let me click around a little bit. Where do I need to go? I guess I need to go back to Stripe and get a key from there and then put it in the test system on the test side and the admin again. Jeez. So hold on one second. Let me set some things up here. Gotta click through. Gotta get to the right spot. Are they gonna let me? I wonder if they'll let me copy the test secret key more than once, or if they're gonna do the same little dance of like, we gotta keep this straight. Yeah, there are test API keys. Yeah, okay, cool. They let me get that one. The other problem is I closed my admin, so I gotta go get that again. I really thought I was done with the admin. But I guess I'm not. So, so I need to go back to, gosh, there's so many layers to this. And you know, this is probably something I am paying the price for. Okay, this may be a good lesson here. I'm paying the price for the fact that I didn't deploy this periodically. Like, we could have had the Stripe set up along the way. We could have had the AnyMail set up along. Like, we didn't test all those things in production as we were going. And I think that is really biting me now, because there was a bunch of things that I didn't configure and test these little pieces. So had I done that, I think I would have been a lot more successful with this overall. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by my phone here. My apologies. So what I need to do is get from my settings, I need to get back to my admin, which I could do from the Heroku shell, but I don't, that's overkill. So let me create I'm going to get over to Firefox. Do this. Create a new thing here. We want to go to the real one. So we need an API key. I'm going to add yet another API key. This time it's going to be the test key from Stripe. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to need both. I'm going to also need the publishable key to do this flow here. So I'm just going to save this test key. That's the test secret key. And then we also will go and copy the test publishable key. That's the test publishable key. So now I have all four of these keys, both the live and test, publishable and secret, that whole combination matrix, are set in the admin here. I'm going to leave the admin up, hopefully not show it off anymore. At least on the flag page, but yeah, I've already got to rotate that that URL path. So that's something I'll have to do later. And now we should be able to go back. Now that I have those keys plugged in, I could come back. Still getting a 500 error on the server page. Don't know why. It should not be, but maybe it's a new issue. Oh, now it's the price. Okay, so now we got to go into Heroku. So this is stuff that I think production is doing right because we synced all this data down, but because I switched it off of the live mode, we're running into some trouble. Okay. So we are getting Bash back up here. And I want to do something different. So if I do a env, this would be dumb. This is very dumb. Gotta be careful here. If I do a grep for live mode, let's be very careful about what I type. Just not winning tonight, y'all. So yeah, Jeffrey, I'm definitely having connection issues. I got disconnected earlier from the stream. So apologies if you're only catching parts of this. I'm going to do the djstripe sync models again. And what that should do is pull down the test data versions of this stuff. And that should get the price, well, that's the big one, the price at this point. We already have the other bits. I think we also need to set the webhook. Okay, there might be maybe what I was complaining about. I bet it's because there is, that's such a pain. So I'm not in live mode right now. There's a single webhook. And the webhook will have a different webhook secret for test mode. So in order to do this full test and test the webhook, I'm going to have to change the webhook secret from its current value set for production to the webhook secret for the live mode and point it to the same URL because I don't have these on different domains. Man, that's just like the hits keep on coming. So I pulled a webhook endpoint for the live mode, but not the test mode. Okay. Well, at the very least, we should be able to now complete, like we should come to this page and we should get this. Okay. Cool. And clicking through to here would create the session, but it will also trigger some events, and those events are going to be coming to this webhook, but the webhook's not configured for live mode, so they're all going to generate more issues in Sentry. So we don't want to be on this very long, I guess. Okay. Let's go over here. Let's go, I'm going to go, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch to secret mode. I'm going to get the webhook secret, or I'll create a webhook, an equivalent webhook endpoint for test mode to the same URL. I don't like this idea, because then it's going to be, if I ever trigger test events, they're going to be sent to the production one, and they'd get rejected because they'd have different secrets. But I'll have to do this test, I'm going to configure this endpoint and set it all up, do the test, and then delete the webhook afterwards, I think. Okay, so I'm going to turn this off, go over to developers, going to go to the webhook section. We're in test mode, so it needs an endpoint. We don't have one. So https://journeyin.box.com/stripe/webhook/. We're going to select events. We're going to select all the events, just like we did last time. And I think we've got added, we're adding that event, those events. And at the bottom, I'm going to say add endpoint. Okay. I'm now going to, because the webhook secret is something I can copy multiple times. So I'm going to take the webhook signing secret from the test mode, go back to Heroku, go to the DJ webhook secret, and replace it. Is it the same? Ooh, I wonder if it's the same. Because it notices the same endpoint. It end like... Oh, I gotta hit the edit icon. Okay. It was not the same. All right. So I just set it on the Heroku side. It's now deploying with the new djstripe stuff. That's going to take a second. Yep, Jeffrey, I'm aware. This particular stream is going to be a lot of black because there's a lot of me talking through stuff where I'm staring at secrets that I cannot share. But I think I'm back to a spot where I can share. So we should have a webhook secret working. Once the deploy is finished, which I'll check in a second, we should be able to go run our test. And everything should be configured for the testing mode on the live site. We're not in live mode. We got the webhook set for the test side. We have the test keys available, test price available, all that's available. So, and I've got a real account that's over here, or over somewhere. Here it is. That one was throwing a 500. That I should be able to click this button, conceivably, and it should all work. Okay. One final check. See if it's done. All right, it's claiming that the deploy is done. So I can bring this back. We can go over here. I'm just, for good measure, I'm just going to refresh the page, make sure everything is hunky-dory. And we're going to go to activate your account. All right, cool. It says, all right, things to check on. So the back button is taking me to JourneyInbox.com. Notice at the bottom. So I told you that I need to set the site, Django contrib site, to change it from example.com to JourneyInbox.com. This is why. So that when the URLs are there, they get plugged in right. We're in test mode, so I should be able to do 42, 42, 42, 42, 42, 42, 42, 42. And then this should be some time in the future. I don't think any of these other details matter. And then I could say Matt, Lehman, and 21. This is my zip code, Frederick. That's not a secret. I don't want to save this forever. Okay, I'm going to hit subscribe. I don't want to save that to Firefox. This should all process because we're in test mode. I don't know why it's taking so long. Ooh, look at that. So they launched us back to the success page. Thank you for signing up. So that's all good. I think that's the full test flow. I think the one last piece that I need to go check. So I'm going to go with the secrets. I can't show this to you all, but this is what I'm going to go check. I'm going to go to my actual accounts areas and my users. I can see that I've got my 3 users here. And I'm going to go to the accounts status. That's not a very good page to check on. I can't tell which one's which. Oh, phooey. The status did not get updated on the webhook. It still says trialing for all of them. That's a bummer. So let me check. We got maybe we got another issue on the webhook side. Fired just a minute ago, it says invalid Stripe API key. That's the exception that we're seeing from Sentry. I'm clicking on it, but I don't know that I can show it right away just because there's a bunch of data there. It says it's empty. Well, why is it empty? Okay, this is, I think, okay to show. So we're looking at where it failed. My guess is that it's not reading from the database properly, and that there's, so remember, we're using djstripe and we're using it without the settings. There were settings in there that they recommend not using because they're pushing everything to the database. Well, I've never seen this error before, this kind of error. We have all 4 keys in the database. I know that for certain. And it's saying it got an empty string. Where would it have gotten an empty string from? Like, look at this traceback. None of this is my code. djstripe, blah, 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 blah. The webhook. So somewhere along here is trying to get the API key, and it can't. Get or create by API key. Replace because of data scrubbing rules of the project. All right, so there is an API key here, but it could be that, no, look, we know that this is an empty string. Because here's the message. Matthias, welcome. We're debugging djstripe stuff. We're trying to do an end-to-end test, and it's not quite working. And trying to get there. We're close, but there's some stupid stuff going on. My guess, my hypothesis, is that the settings that you can put into the settings file for your live key, and oh, John, I will do what you said. So I've got. Let me go one more time. I'm looking at the admin page, and I'm going to the API key section. And I can tell you, I see 4 keys listed here. This is a fresh page. Jeffrey, this is end-to-end. I'm doing the full final test of this is the live site. So I've got it set not in live mode. So we're doing it with the test data mode, but this is on the production site. And once I validate that this flow works and that all the keys are set, I'm going to turn live mode back on. That's the plan. So we've got API keys there. There are 2 publishable keys, 2 secret keys, and then there's a pair that are in live mode and a pair that are not in live mode. So I think we're covered on the keys, and I know that they are the real values. So I'm pretty confident of that not being a problem with the database. So that's one thing to check, but thank you for the prompt there, John. So let's get back over here and let's stare at the stack trace, see where it takes us, where it's actually trying to pull this data from. So confident that this is empty, like where it's saying API key here, we can, even though Sentry is saying we're trying to protect you because we know it's empty, the reality is that this field is empty, because the representation's coming out here and there's nothing to see. So this is an empty string, which means that this call, I guess it goes down here. This is the lowest layer. So the secret, it's called secret here, must be an empty string. And that is called by API object, so this must be an empty string. Just going up the chain, just trying to see where this is coming from. So this get or retrieve from API key must also be an empty string right here. So let's keep going up. Find account owner is passing an API key, must also be an empty string. That's what I can conclude. And find owner account. All right, so somewhere in find owner account, where it's first passing in the API key, there's something there. I think that's the way I'm reading this. So let's go to djstripe models base and look at this find owner account function. Is this actually, no, so can they take us to, that'd be too handy. Oh, but we got the data. Data? What's all this? It's getting the data from the webhook, I guess. But it's just not persisting it properly? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why I don't even know why the webhook needs the API key at this point. I'm not sure what it's doing. Okay, but no matter. We need to go djstripe models base. So I think we can get out of here. And let's go into the virtual environment and go to lib python site packages djstripe models, and then base, right? And then 344 was the line. Okay. So we're here. Where's API key coming from? Aha! Son of a gun. Right there. djstripe settings. Stripe secret key. We didn't pass it in. Well, maybe it did get passed in though. No, it didn't. So remember that traceback, the one right above it. Sorry, there's too much data. The one right above it was calling it with find owner account with just data equals data. So it's relying on the default, which is a freaking setting. So I think this is a bug in djstripe, is what I'm concluding. Because they tell you you can use the database, but you can't really use the database. You can't just use the database. We have to set this ourselves. Unless, I mean, there's always the possibility. Okay, let me make sure I'm not full of crap. So we've got djstripe settings from up above. So there's up a level. Got settings, stripe, secret key. Nope. These are just, it's all setting stuff. That's really frustrating. Like, why would the docs tell me not to do setting stuff and then not work? Okay. All right. I'm going to step away for just a minute, go use the restroom. I'll be back and we'll put in the settings as they probably should have been there to begin with, get that going, and then try again. Be right back. All right. So the reason I never encountered this with homeschool is because I use the settings. So if I go to the djstripe stuff, I mandated that these settings be there and that we did this little dance with the live key, secret key, Stripe publishable key, all that bit. And you can see Stripe secret key. Yeah, I think we can like straight up copy this section and it should work the way it's supposed to work. It's just frustrating when this kind of stuff trips you up at the end. It's like, I don't I don't really want to do that, especially if you're telling me to do something different. But I will. Thankfully, I've got all this code. But now we've got to put in. So I've now done I'll have done double duty. So I've got to put in I have to go to the settings, and I need to plug in the live secret key, the test secret key, the live publishable key, the test publishable key. And for what? Or what was the benefit of using the database? Sorry, a little frustrated. So I will stop venting. Just do it. Also, I think I'm basically done 2 streams worth of stuff. Probably on hour number 3.5 here. So all those things need to be there. This is also going to have implications on this stuff at the top. Well, no, it won't, because there's no defaults. But it will have implications on the env sample file that we're going to have to pull from. So we're going to need those to exist as well. So env example, paste those in. Make sure that our tests run. What? Nope. Because I don't have them in the env file itself. So hold on. So I'm going to copy this over to the env file that's actually used by the tests. All right, and then run this again. Those all run, that's good. So now we need to go to the GitHub workflow. I'm sure that will also need these new values. So sure this is over here too. Let's take why are there interesting that I got away with not having the live publishable key there. Don't know how that worked. Oh, I think I know. Because Stripe live mode is off, so when the test suite runs, it's only gonna, okay. All right, fine. So that's those. And we'll have to go set these things in the settings. So I thankfully have all the values in the database. It shouldn't take too long to do this. It's just really annoying. Yeah, I don't know if it's a good question, John. If it's kind of one of those things. It's like if you know that it's not going to work, why would you have it as your official documentation right away? Or have some not have some comment. I don't know. Again, I think I'm venting because it's like 12:30 my time, and I was hoping to be done like an hour ago. Okay, so let's do add Stripe settings to settings file. Push that up. I don't want to deploy it yet. I'm going to go ahead and fix this on Heroku. So I'm going to have to do some flipping back and forth. So I'm going to reveal the configuration variables, going to add at the bottom these different variable names, and I'm going to copy them very carefully so that copy them carefully so that I don't mess them up. So this first one is the Stripe live secret key. Stripe live secret key. I'm going to go to my actual, nope, that's the wrong one. Localhost. the live site and pull the Stripe live secret key. This is the most valuable one. I definitely don't want to be off secret mode for. Okay, that's the Stripe live secret key. Now I need the Stripe test secret key. I think that's the next one. Yep, Stripe test secret key. And going back to the API keys section, I'm going to pull the secret key SK test. There's at least, I do like that about Stripe, that they make it very clear of your identifier, what kind it is. All right, next is the publishable keys. So that would be Stripe live publishable key. So much tabbing and going back and forth between windows. Stripe live publishable key. That starts with PK live. Reminds me of PK Fire from Smash Brothers. And then one more, the Stripe test publishable key. Waiting. That's PK test. Okay. Hiding all the config variables. Probably might have triggered a bunch of deploys in order. Seems like it did those pretty quickly. Get off of the keys section on my admin in case I bring that up by accident again. And okay, I think we are ready to deploy. So make deploy. Hi Alfredo, welcome. I've been switching back and forth between secrets configuration. I saw you pulled your message. So it's not you. It's like I gotta hide some stuff. I need a better secret screen to demonstrate that I'm actually setting secrets. That's my fault that I haven't set that up. So sorry about that. So we are almost there. And then I guess, gosh, I gotta make another test account, verify the account, and go through the flow again. Because I already did from the point of view of Stripe, this was successful. Although they might be calling that webhook later. Oh, they even complain about it. That's unbelievable. Has no secret set. Did we not set that? I thought I set that. Didn't create it on the admin side. Right. Okay. So let's set the webhook secret for the test webhook. Guess. And yeah. This is annoying. Where do I need to go? Because I want to get these bits configured right beforehand. And I need to make a note. Ah, crap. So I probably should have like a list of things I have to change afterwards. Well, let's put it in the docs area for now. I don't know. This is the only doc I have. Things to change in config. Turn off live mode. Or turn on live mode. In the admin, set the webhook secret, which we still haven't done yet. I think those are the two things right now. I have a feeling that the code is now failing because no, okay, we don't have any checks on warnings right now. We should. Because those are warnings coming out. I don't actually want to have warnings. And on my other project, all these, okay, these are coming out as infos. Yeah, I would love to be able to remove them from the settings file. Okay. So I need to go get the webhook secret and set it on the admin. So this is the test one. Thankfully, I'm not revealing anything too seriously because I'm going to delete this webhook afterwards. And anyway, I think actually delete test webhook in Stripe. I don't want to keep that around because it's pointing at the same production site. So if I had a cleaner way to do this that might have avoided a bunch of this stuff would be to have a like a staging site where the live mode is always on and then a production site. But the reality is like has more cost than it's essentially new compute with new configuration, and I don't want to maintain two sites, so it's not worth it to me. But if you're wondering like how else could you have done this that without all this switching, that is how else. All right, so I've got the webhook secret right here, and I'm going to go to my admin and change it. So getting off here, switching back to the admin. Now I don't know what I'm exactly looking for. I assume it's just the webhook endpoint. So I'm clicking on the webhook endpoint, and no, this doesn't seem to be the area. It's got information about the webhook endpoint, but I want the webhook secret. And it's not clear from that where that is. All right, so if it's not there, where do you set it in the database? Are they seriously telling you to like go configure? What did it say? Sorry. Let's see. The djstripe webhook validation is set to verify signature, but webhook endpoint JourneyInbox.com/stripe/webhook has no secret set. Set the secret from the Django shell or set djstripe webhook validation retrieve event. Jeez, that's okay. All right. Bring this back. Let's look for, let's go to djstripe again. One of these things. Nope, that's Twilio. Get out of here, Twilio. Don't need you right now. Where did it go? Did I close it? djstripe. Let's search for I00006, I think it was. Y I006. All right. I guess we got to look at the code because they don't seem to have it here. I006. Really? Maybe it's how these things are numbered. All right, so what are these things called? Checks. All right, so we need to find the word shell. Update the secret with the value from okay. Are you kidding me? So I'm on the admin. All right, I'm going to switch back to the secrets. I am looking at the webhook endpoint, which is the object that we were just looking at. The webhook endpoint in the admin does not, that's unbelievable. It doesn't show that there's a secret value anywhere. The admin just totally leaves it out on the detail page. Okay. So this is something that we'll have to note. We can only update from the command line. This is, y'all, this is way harder than it was in the past. I don't know why this has become so much harder. I don't remember this being this hard for homeschool. Like, this is crazy how much harder this is. So I'm going to go to Heroku run bash. I think I can show this. All right, here's our Heroku run bash. And we are going to go to manage shell plus. And we're going to do the webhook endpoint is the webhook endpoint. And there's only, I think there's only one. Objects.count should show 1. What? No way. No way. Oh, I stuffed it in a variable. Okay. Sorry. Again, it's getting late for me. So there's only 1. So let's get it. Jeffrey, no, this is my new journaling project that I'm trying to get live. So we're like really close to making it live and available for any of you to sign in. Actually, you could do it right now. Please don't, because it's not working. But after this is over, you could sign up and start using the journaling service. I did promise that anybody who signed up while I was on the stream, their stuff would be deleted because it's not in live mode, and so you won't have a connection to my real Stripe account stuff. So you're just going to create a mess for me if you do that. And I think people are smart enough not to do that right now, but you'll see. We'll see. Okay, so right now the secret here is empty. So we need to set the secret to be the value that we got over on the Stripe side. This webhook secret. And again, this is test data, so this is like not bad for me to show. So we can put that there, and we can finally say webhook secret.save. And so now this should be configured so that we have the webhook on the testing side set up to have this webhook secret, and our receiver, our webhook, should be checking against that secret. And that's part of its verification policy. So that should work without blowing up in our face. The thing that I noted in the documentation is when I delete the testing version of this, I need to go back in there and change the webhook secret value to the production one so that it will behave properly. All right. Gosh, after all of that, I think we're finally ready to do a full end-to-end test and see how everything's going. So let's go back over here and let's do accounts log out. And we want to sign out. And just going to, there's no flash messages to be consumed right now, so we're losing that, but that's okay. If that doesn't mean anything to you, don't worry about it. So let's go to the sign up process. And here, I'm going to create yet another test account. So this will be 4th time's a charm. And at this point, you can figure out my email. Screw it. Please don't spam me. I don't know. No, make it a new one. This is 4. Whatever. Update. Okay, we're going to sign up. All right, we got a verification. I have another confirmation email. I'm just expanding the details just to check and be sure. It says JourneyInbox testing 4 in the name. So I'm going to follow the activation link here. I'm not going to log in here, so I have followed it there. Now, if I go to the login page, we're at the login page. And I do have my own JourneyInbox personal thing here, so I don't necessarily want to flash that up. Let me log in with number 4. And I'm going to log in. Hey, this is going a lot smoother this time. All right. We are now, excuse me, we're now ready to go to the activated account. This should take us, so we didn't hit any issues. It's good experience so far. Going to the activate the account flow. This is the test mode, that's good. It's number 4, we can't modify that. We're going to plug in 4.2, which is the Stripe test code for success. And we'll do 1225, 123, Matt Lehman. Nope, don't save this stuff to password, come on. 21702, it's my zip code. I live in Frederick, no shockers. And I'm gonna hit subscribe. I don't want to save it to Firefox. All right, so this worked previously and got us this sign up page. The problem was I went to the database, looked at the admin, and the last account was still in trialing because the webhook didn't fire. With any luck, we've now resolved the settings issues that was one thing that was blowing up, and we set the webhook secret on the webhook so that that thing should additionally be validating incoming data that way. So the webhook should have fired, or the data from this checkout session should have gone complete, got sent to the webhook, gotten through the authorization with the webhook secret, and then gotten to our handler, which would update the account from trialing to active. That's the idea. Now I can't show you the actual outcome of that, but I'm going to go check on that right now. Don't know which account it is. I need to update the admin to show these accounts better. Ah, cool. So it is listed as active. So this is an active account, and I could go back. If I go back to, there'll be one indicator on the main site that it's active. Yeah, cool. We gated, or we put a guard on the activate your account button to only show for trialing users. And notice that that is gone. So we have confidence that that it's inactive. I mean, I saw it too, but this is your way of seeing that. So I think everything is working. What I'm going to do is now the cleanup process of this. I need to clean up some of this stuff so that we can have the same confidence, because I'm not going to put my credit card in there and do a test on that. But change the secret, delete the webhook on the test side. Hopefully it doesn't delete on the production side. That would be annoying. I need to check. Okay, let's do this deletion first, because what might happen now that the webhook is I don't know if it will try and delete if there's like a webhook deletion request. That is an event that can happen. I don't know. Curious. So let's start that process. And then we can go clean up some of the Sentry crap too. I can create a bunch of stuff for myself that is not the case anymore. And need to say like, hey, we're done. We got him. So we fixed this. This is resolved. Can I pick a commit? I don't care. Resolve. That was when we got the default from field wrong. So that's done. This is fixed now too. We added those API keys in umpteen million ways. That's done. We fetched the price for both the testing and the production side, so that's done. And we got the invalid Stripe keys problem fixed when we fixed the settings, so that's done. So we're back to a clean slate of issues, which is good. That's where we kind of like to keep things for Stripe, that these things are things that I actively need to work on. So I think we're done with, I said Stripe, I mean Sentry. So we're done over here. Okay, now I want to delete this webhook. After deleting this endpoint, no future webhooks will be sent to its URL. I think that's right. So this is the test version. Okay, I'm gonna be looking at the real one. So I'm gonna put on the secrets for a second, get off test mode. I still see that there is a Stripe webhook there. It's got a 100% failure rate, probably because it was rejecting, it didn't have the secret, so it was rejecting those things and throwing up errors instead. So what I need to do here is get the real webhook secret. I need to go back to Heroku. Oh, I still have the bash session up. So although that's, yeah, this should still be there. But let me get out of this terminal and the Django shell and try it again just to make sure. So I'm get in the webhook event endpoint, and I'm not showing this part because it's got the real secret value. And I'm going to set that secret value now and do webhook endpoint save. Okay, so that's now set. So we've deleted that and we've saved it. With any luck, this error rate on these responses should start to change now that this has been corrected. Again, can't really show that. Well, can I? I'm hiding the signing secret now. And Yeah, I think it's safe to show now. So you can see it's enabled. It's for the 201 events. I can't, this is where the key is, so I'm not going to click that button. Everything's failed so far, which is bad. Okay, so the thing that we want to do next is I need to go over here and I need to open this and turn off, like remove the setting that controls, that has made live mode go off. So again, secrets, there is a setting called Stripe Live Mode that's currently set to false, and I'm going to delete that. And by deleting it, it's going to go back to the default, and I make my configuration good for defaults for production, so it should go back to being true. So I'm deleting the config variable right now, and it is deleted. I'm going to make myself another note to rotate keys that were seen on stream. It's freaking annoying. All right. I'm looking for that seemed to go. I'm going to do one last check. I'm still on the bash Heroku instance, but I'm going to go, I'm exiting it, and I'm going to go back onto it. And now what I'm going to do is go into the settings and check what the status of Stripe Live Mode. Manage, shell, plus, and then settings, Stripe Live Mode. It should be true now, and it's true. So I have confidence that I'm in live mode. All right. We made it. Arvidas, no, I was setting a bunch of secrets, so that's my secret screen. It's really boring. I need to fix it so that people don't have to ask that question anymore. We're at the end of this whole journey, and what I can confidently say at this point, or as confident as I'm going to be, is that we should have all of this working. The one thing that I have not seen now is evidence that my webhook is now working now that I've set the webhook secret. So what I'm going to be doing in the future after the stream is checking that webhook and seeing that those events are starting to flow. I do expect that they would be flowing, but yeah, it'd be good to confirm that. So that leaves us in a spot where we're done with this milestone. We've done all of that. And more importantly, the site is now live for anybody to sign up. I remember I needed to, there was a couple last things I needed to do. And I think I can do those. I think I can do them on stream. Sure. Because I'm gonna forget otherwise. So let's go back to Stripe. Let's turn on test mode, and we can see the subscriptions or the customers that we have and all their subscriptions. So I've got these two customers, it's me. I'm going to delete both of them and everything associated with that. Cancel subscriptions right away, blah, blah, blah. These are in test mode. They would go to the webhook, but we don't have the webhook anymore. So I'm going to wait till we get some confirmation here that both of them have been deleted. And then I'm going to, there is one last little bit of cleanup I needed to do on the actual site, which I do need to put the secrets back on for. Last time, hopefully, doing this. So I'm going to load up the admin page that I've got open. I'm going to go to the users section, and I'm going to delete all 4 of the test accounts that we're using for this process. I don't like having this test data just sitting around in my actual production database. And that's going to clean up the associated email objects, the accounts, all of that kind of stuff. So they're gone. Yeah, they're gone. Actually, that might trigger an error because I still have one of them logged in. So I'm going to try and log that user out. But it might blow up right now if I try that. Seemed to go okay. Okay. So everything is cleaned up. Now the pay there's so the challenge. Okay, what do we not have? I think we forgot a very important button, and that very important button is a sign up link. Ah, geez. So here's our sign up page. We need to be able to link to that sign up page. And for the moment, let's just throw up a sign up button really quickly so that people can get to this page. You are welcome to try out JourneyInbox, and love to hear some feedback. If you do try it out, you know, I guess if you want to be a tire kicker, you can. I'd prefer people who have possibly actually interest in journaling. If that's not you, then maybe won't be a good fit. But let's put a button on to go to the sign up page, and then I think we can call it a night. I know I need to because I started at 9 o'clock. I've been streaming for 4 hours. So we turned on live mode. We changed the webhook secret, and we deleted the test webhook. So I need to rotate the keys. This is after stream. This is setting stuff that I can do later. And then confirm that events are correctly happening in Stripe. So one thing that we need to go to the index, the unauthenticated index, which just right now is just a totally empty page. So here's the block that we're missing. Noah, I can talk a little bit about tenants, but my take is, well, I guess it depends on your context. And I think I've sort of explained this in other streams before. There are a few different modes that you can do for tenants. And they have different levels of protection that you might have. There's a project out there called Django Tenant, I believe. I don't remember which mode it works with, but I'm drawing a blank on what it's called. There's a term in right. If you're using Postgres, there's a term called schema that is kind of deceptive to me. It's effectively like a namespace in your database. And so one strategy for doing tenants is to give every single user or account, if it's a team, their own Postgres schema, which is an isolated, like they've got their own data set. The challenge of that mode, while it is more secure, is that I think every schema needs to be like migrated independently. So that's, X number of migrations based on the number of customers you have. But their data, like it's in that mode, it's not possible. I mean, anything's always possible. It is extremely hard for a SQL query from one schema to be queried from the other. So you could have a high degree of confidence that you're not going to have cross-user data. I don't do that. Instead, what I do is track things with foreign keys. So I have in this simple app, the user account is the foreign key that I hook data off of. We can see evidence of that if I look up the entries models, for example. You can see I've got my user foreign key. And this has the convenient aspect of if I want to delete an account and do a hard delete on it, if I delete the user, it's everything underneath it as the tree of stuff belonging to that user would be wiped out. The challenge of this is that I need to add in extra logic. Like you can see here, I need to do a query that makes sure that I filter on that user. I don't want to accidentally get somebody else's data when they're not supposed to see it. So that puts more, the onus is on me to get that right, which can be tricky. All right, so that's probably all I have time to say. I'm really kind of burned out, so hopefully that made enough sense to you. I want to get the button. No, I don't want that one. Let's go to the login. That's also an input. I want a hyperlink that looks like the buttons that I've been using. Okay. Doesn't have to be perfect. So this is going to be an anchor tag, and it's going to be an href, and we'll point to the sign up page, which I think should be URL account. If it follows the same pattern as the other, it's going to be account sign up like this. And that needs to end there. Take off the type, and it's not a value. So we want sign up to be the string. Okay, that's the whole content section, if I did this right. All right, we'll go to localhost 5001. Got a sign up button, takes you to the sign up page. Okay, cool. It is what we want. I don't want to commit my little notes there. We just want to commit the template stuff. Add ability to reach the sign up page without knowing the URL. All right. We can push that piece up and deploy this currently. Where do we go from here? We're now kind of, I've reached a point where it's like break free time. People can really try this out. I might even do a little bit of messaging on Twitter for people who actually want to try it out and be serious about it. But there's this long list of things that we had that sort of a choose your own adventure. The biggest one probably is this one. This will quickly become a problem. So a lot of the lookups that the app does to find an entry and so on looks at this when field, which is a date field. And there's no index on this field right now. And it's fine. Like currently the database has, I don't know, I've been using it for a few months. So it's got like 80 or 90 entries in it right now of my entries for the last couple of months of usage. And that's a database has no problem going through 80 records. Let's just put it that way. But if there starts to be more users that are putting in their own entries, then this becomes more problematic as we begin to filter on these dates. There is filters. This maybe isn't so bad because there is a filter on, and you saw it probably. Yeah, So there's already a filter on user. And just by having the filter on user, there's a foreign key there. And Django, by default, will make a database index for the foreign key. So you're going to get a much narrower set by doing that where clause first. So I'm not too worried about performance for everybody. But as we start to have people that have more and more entries, like as I get more entries or as I load in my hundreds or thousands of entries from my other app eventually, which I plan to do, then that starts to become costly. So I want to get that on there pretty early. But we kind of have our choice, and it's not a hard thing to do. I think it's like going to be a one-liner to really add that index. So we have a bunch of things that I've pulled as I was thinking about them, and we just need to get through them and add some polish. But we're really in a state where people can try it out and provide feedback too, which will be helpful. So I want to say thank you for joining in. This is maybe one of my more frustrating streams, but that's the reality. It's like making your site go live on production is tricky, right? And there's a lot to learn here. We did hit some stuff with djstripe that was frustrating. I wish I could go back to the previous streams and say like, don't do that. But that's not the case. So I won't be streaming next week because I have a meetup, but the week following that I should get back to this. We should get back to this stuff. You can, if you do me a favor and give me a thumbs up on this, I'd much appreciate it. That really helps with people discovering this content. Hopefully you learned something along the way. If you learn something so much along the way, I now have multiple options that you can do. You can buy I have a book on Django that you're welcome to buy. And you can go to mattlehman.com, and right on the front page is the book. It's Understand Django. You can read it for free online if you want, but you can also support me by buying a copy. You could support me on Patreon as patreon.com/mblehman. That's where I am. Hey, Ryan, long time no see. Welcome back. There is also the ability to sign up now for JourneyInbox, and if it's I think this is the coolest one because it's a way that you can get some value back yourself. I think journaling is a really amazing habit long term, and like I said with the hook of this is that you get these past prompts that tell you what you've done in the past, and just seeing those reminders is really a really neat thing to go back and be like, oh yeah, I remember that. That's a pretty fun way to go about it, and it's a way for me to like give you some value in your life. So hopefully it becomes something useful to you and something that we can also riff on back and forth of like, hey, what can we add to this app to make it awesome? That's something I'm looking forward to as we this app. I feel like unlike the homeschool app, which is for a homeschool audience, which most of you are not in, this app can be very reachable to anybody who's interested. So yeah. That's what I have to say about that. Look forward to seeing some of your experiences and letting me know where things are working or not working. And I'll catch y'all next time. Thanks for sticking in there. John, you're a champ. Like 4 hours. I think you were here for most of those 4 hours. So appreciate you for sticking around. For everybody else who just joined a little later, thank you as well. I appreciate the conversation. Take care, y'all. Good night.